Welcome back to the continuing adventures of members of the Florida Powerboat Club. This is Stu Jones, and we are celebrating 25 years of our signature Key West offshore poker run presented by Mercury Racing, along with our grand prize sponsor, Off Lease Only, who have presented one more time a brand new Mustang that somebody's going to take home from this poker run. So let's get everybody up to speed. We are now in part 7 of our 8-show coverage of this epic Key West poker run. We left you off Thursday. We celebrated the body painting expo here at the Poker Run Village at the Conch Republic Seafood Company. We wandered around the village and checked out some of the sponsors and all this new high-performance hardware that's a big hit that draws thousands of people to the Poker Run Village every year here in Key West. Friday night, we did our sponsor appreciation night, where all of the leading manufacturers in our sport were recognized for their contributions to this event. But now it's Saturday morning. We've been in Key West for 3 days, and everyone's getting a little antsy. They want to get out and get back boating again. Remember that some people came down on Wednesday, some again on Thursday, but Friday was a race day. Most of the boats stayed in the harbor on Friday, so now it's a beautiful Saturday. Maybe it's just a little breezy offshore, but it is a sunny, warm day, and I know a lot of the gangs are getting back on the boats. I know some of the sponsors and manufacturers want to showcase their boats. They've got sea trials lined up. People are getting anxious to get out on the water and take these guys for a spin. And on the subject of spinning, yes, we're now up with our aerial photo team. The FPC chopper is flying out of the Key West airport. We've got David and Jerry on board, and we are going to get out there on the waterways and catch up to as many teams as we can today. Starting off here now with Dr. Jason Parker in his brand new Deep Impact 399, and I do believe this is his first poker run with this new Deep Impact boat. It's got 4 Mercury Racing 400Rs. It's got a beautiful Stephen Miles paint job. I think it's one of the sexiest and nicest looking Deep Impact 399s that have come out of the Opelika factory recently, and I know that there's a long string of new ones that are going to be coming out right after this one. But let's take a close look and see what is different about this Saturday morning footage. Is that you guys have been accustomed to that nice bay water running all the way down from Miami through the backwaters of the Florida Keys, and then the final leg into Key West is sometimes a little bumpy, but for the most part it's a nice, calm, smooth ride for the 170-mile trek from Miami to Key West. Now here we are on this windy Saturday. Winds are up to about 20 miles per hour out of the southeast, and you're getting a bit of a blow and a little bit of a chop, so these offshore V-bottoms are really out here strutting their stuff and putting on a good show as Captain Josh here takes this 399 through the paces. And the sharp contrast from an outboard V-bottom to this high-performance catamaran, Lauren Peters all the way from Missouri in his 40-foot MTI. No doubt this is a high-performance machine. We're going to see a lot of these on this poker run. In fact, MTI had a tremendous showing here in Key West, and this is really getting to be the new norm. You're getting a mixture between these high-performance catamarans and high-performance offshore V-bottoms, primarily the center consoles. And that's what I really like about what's transitioning here in our sport, is that everyone has a kind of boat that's perfect for them and for their lifestyle. And we're now catching up with Mark and Eileen Fisher on this fantastic 527 Nortec powered by Mercury Racing 1350s. And the best way I can describe what I'm seeing now is bittersweet, because I know this is the last time that we're going to see this boat on a Florida Powerboat Club run, at least with Mark Fisher at the helm. He's got her for sale. I think he's got a deal cooking, and we may see this boat go away, but somebody is going to get themselves a beautiful high-performance Nortec 527 that's been very well taken care of, and I've had a lot of time on this boat. It is truly a monster offshore machine. Will run about 100 miles an hour all day long with 8 to 10 people comfortably in the cockpit. But of course, the sweet part is that, you know, Mark Fisher is not leaving the club. He's very busy building Deep Impacts and Blackwaters, and he's always going to be showing up on these Florida Powerboat Club runs with a new boat every once in a while. So he's very much still a part of the fabric of our Florida Powerboat Club family, and happy to have him on board. And it looks like the orange and the blues are going to be the big hit for the colors this morning as we now segue into this Deep Impact 399, and an appropriate fit after just telling you about Mark Fisher and how he's enjoying building these Deep Impacts. Here is another one. Dave and Lori Postel just took delivery of this 399. It's got a toad paint job. And as we all know, the art of design, clearly one of the best in the business. Putting these beautiful colors on this $399, and it is truly unique. Even has color coordinated the motors. I'm not sure the guys at Mercury are too happy about that. They still like to see their Mercury 400R logo on there. But look at how this boat just cuts through the water. Great running offshore powerboat. You can see the new roof line, the new top really. That was the signature statement that Mark Fisher put on this $399 bottom, and it's a completely redesigned boat and has become very, very popular with members of the Florida Powerboat Club. So happy to see Dave and Lori Postel from Michigan. They've been longtime members of the Florida Powerboat Club, and they're out enjoying their brand new Deep Impact here in Key West. And please join me with this very warm welcome to Jeff and Heather Spike, who came all the way from Michigan for this event. It's their first Key West poker run in this 39-foot cigarette Top Gun, powered by Mercury Racing 700s that have been juiced up to about 850. And look at the way this boat runs. He's obviously been driving these boats for a while, got some seat time because he's got this 39 dialed in and looking great. They said that this was a bucket list poker run for them. They've always wanted to do this run, and they couldn't wait to do it again. So hopefully we'll see them again on the 2018 edition of this Key West signature run. We asked them to tell us something about the boat that they liked, and Jeff said that it's the first boat. It's a 2011 39, the very first one that was ever rigged with number 6 drive. So that's what's given it the ability to push through these rough waters right now without any incidents. Another thing in their video bio, what do they like about powerboating? They said meeting all the great people over the various poker run events. Well, good to have you guys here on the run, and it looks like you guys are nailing it today. And here's another Top Gun team that are nailing it as well, running in this rough stuff. Obviously a lot of experience running around in Michigan. Jerry and Charmaine Benish in Team Drink About It. Another 39-foot Top Gun. Another pair of 700, this one with NXT1 drives, I believe. But nicely dialed in, handling the rough stuff and putting on a great show here. And that's what a cigarette is built to do. By the way, 18 cigarettes registered for this event. They usually win the Manufacturer's Cup every year, but this year just got nudged out by Nortec with a total of 22 Nortecs registered. But nonetheless, these cigarette owners proud of their brand, and I'm happy to join that family with my 38 Top Gun, which will be on the 2018 edition of the Key West Poker Run. Stephen Barker from New York in this 43-foot Nortec for my girls. Something different about the boat because he's been on this run before. I'm not sure what it is. I think he took the graphics off of the side of the boat, got some nice clean lines down the side of the hull. And what's different about this 43, most of them were built with triples, some of them with twins. This one with twin Mercury Racing 1075s. So obviously it's a very balanced and a very powerful boat, and he seems to have her dialed in running nicely today. And notice he's just offshore here, only about a mile offshore, and it's just the right amount of chop to give these V-bottoms a nice ride, and that's exactly what they're doing right now, putting on a good show here. And really sad that not a lot of these 43s are being built anymore. Obviously, Nortec's transition to center consoles has been, very well received. So it's nice to see these classic 43s, if I can call it that, but a great running boat. And a great running center console now, a Midnight Express 43. This is the factory entry. Eric and Maggie Glazer at the helm with this 43 that's powered by 5 Mercury 400R Verados. It's really just out for a little joyride today. They're not trying to set any speed records, but you can see the step bottom and you can see all that horsepower on the back, and 1 + 1 = 3. What I mean by that is this is a 90-mile-an-hour center console, and I know that Eric's very proud of that, but these boats, if they're trimmed right and propped right, they'll run very fast. And another brand new center console, this one from the Blackwater factory in Opelika, and looks like that could be Ron McLean at the helm, not sure, but this is a brand new boat, just came out, all white, as you can see, 4 Mercury Verado 350s, making it really an ideal fishing boat, play boat. They are coming out with a lot of different versions of this boat. This one has traditional straight bottom. They've also built one now with a step bottom, which has basically taken from the Deep Impact 399 bottom, but you can see that it still is a traditional fishing boat. I also see the bow thruster. It's a big, heavy boat. It does come with huge fuel capacity for long-range cruising, and a very popular boat, starting to see more of them. A lot of fountains on this run every year, and a lot of people from Canada every year. Chris and Jennifer Grant starting to become veterans here of this event, and bringing this 42 fountain all the way from Ontario down to Florida to do our runs with us. And it's kind of funny when I think about where I'm from, you know, the Toronto area, and Chris and Jennifer are from Etobicoke, Ontario, which is, you know, essentially the west end of Toronto, and, you know, right where I lived in Mississauga. So here we are with a lot of these Canadians that I never knew when I lived in Canada, but now I'm getting to hang out with them and go boating with them here now, you know, 25 years later here in South Florida. But I got this fountain dialed in, running good, looking good as they blast in here to Key West Harbor. That's Sunset Key off in the distance, and putting on a nice show here for us today. And now, as we cruise into the harbor, getting a better look of what is about to become a raft-up party. Clearly, we had to make some changes to our agenda. A little windy out there for the Woman Key Rendezvous, so we kept it in the inner harbor. And I'm not really sure the name of this island, but it's part of the U.S. Coast Guard terminal. And you can see it's not really inhabited. There's no buildings, no residential out here. So we're not really bothering anybody. And I guess we can cross our fingers and hope that this is a good spot, at least as a backup when it is rough out there offshore around the Mule Key area where we like to go. But the only thing that we're not going to get is the nice sandy beaches. But the water is pretty clear here, and nice, colorful, tropical-looking cove. Protected water, no current, no winds, a little bit shallow, but it looks like that big yacht Negotiator's doing just fine. So I think this is just an ideal getaway for everybody that wants to raft up and turn up the tunes and have some fun. You know, every chance we get, we'd like to wander through the Poker Run Village and catch up with some of our Key West Poker Run sponsors who represent the leading manufacturers in the performance marine industry. Elias Delatorre III returned for his second year in a row from Hydrosports Custom Boats with brand new Hydrosports Suenos 53 models, all powered by 7 Marine V8s.
I'm here doing two things, having a good time and have several customers down here, and just also supporting the group and showing what we're capable of building. We got 3 53 Sueños, and I've got my personal boat powered by 7 Marines. I've got my best friend E.G. Vodka, Marty Kritis, in his boat, and we've got a new powerboat member, Bill Vogel, a big skater guy, and we just delivered his brand new 53 with 7s, and this is his inaugural run. It's the Florida Powerboat Run here in Key West. 7 Marine is, again, is the over the top. Here I build the world's largest boat. How can you not build it with the world's largest outboard? It just seems you know, a fit made in magic. Just, you got to have both. You know, my boats are custom. You know, a lot of people happen to say that, but you know, unlike the other manufacturers, I built quite a few boats. You know, my business plan is not just building 2. You know, we build dozens of the bigger, larger boats, and none of them are the same. You know, all of them are different aspects depending on the customer's use, from tenders to hot rod, how he's going to party with it, if it's just going to be a luxury boat. So many different aspects. So, you know, we go into building the boats and all the different processes. What we've done, we've evolved. You know, Hydrosport's been a company that's been around for 45 years. You know, I've been a dealer for 17 or 18 years. About 4 or 5 years ago, I bought the whole company, and we're taking a different direction. Now it's Hydrosport Custom Boats. Just like the logo reads, it's going to be announced in February. We're going to be HCB. You no longer will see the word Hydrosport. And it's the evolution of the company, where I've taken it. Where I've taken a boat that was before built as production. Now every boat is, you know, hand built. You know, we only build a handful of boats, about 60, 70 boats a year, which is bigger than the business plan of a lot of the other manufacturers. You know, and we put a lot of different design into the boats. I mean, just for the creature comforts to the design of, we hold 1,000 gallons of fuel. Our beams are bigger. You know, our boats are designed just to ride better. When people say, well, boat ride's good, it's many different things that go from a ride. It's where you sit on the boat and how dry you are and how comfortable your passengers are, and really how much time you can literally spend on the boat. So I think my boats offers a lot of those things that some of my competitors do not.
Meanwhile, back out here in the harbor, some people, you know, racking up some speeds as they get their offshore thrills. Closing in on this MTI, not quite sure who it is yet. Let's zoom in and take a closer look. Looks like a big 48, and it is Johnny O. That's right, Johnny Ola Flint in Vengeful, 48 MTI, powered by Mercury Racing 1550s. You know, he's had bigger MTIs, but he says the 48 is just perfect for him. And with those 1550s, well, I don't think you can do better than that. This is ultimately a recreational race boat. let's face it, guys. This is a 170-mile-an-hour play toy, and he's got Jimmy Mack with him, Jimmy McIntyre at the helm. Two guys who know how to run a boat together. I've ridden with them at 150 on more than one occasion. I felt very safe with these guys because they know what they're doing. They respect the power and the speed, but they know how to have fun, and that's going fast. And that's exactly what they're doing today, guys. Thanks for joining us in Key West. And we are seeing a lot of outer limits on this run. Back again with Mark and Nancy Tuck from Virginia. We saw a lot of them in one of the earlier episodes as they made the run down on Thursday with their two daughters on board. So I guess that made you outnumbered, huh, Mark? Anyway, they said in their video bio that they were really appreciated doing the run, that FPC always goes out of their way to put on a great event. Thank you for that. A little bit about the boat. It's a 2010 SL44 with a more recent paint job, rigged with Mercury Racing 1075s, number 6 drives, and apparently rigged by Brian Forehand at marker 17. Thanks for joining us, Mark. And the backstory on this boat, well, apparently they were short on shrimp at the Conch Republic Seafood Company, so they sent this boat out to get some more because they heard you guys were hungry for more shrimp tonight. And all the way from Texas, Lien and Kristensen, this big 52-foot outer limits, powered by Mercury Racing 1350s. Really a stylish boat, but also a big performer. It looks like they just spotted the helicopter. I saw that rooster tail push up, which means he just slammed the throttles to get some speed, and they're going to get this boat dialed in for a nice run. And these conditions are ideal for this 52-foot outer limits today. A good chance to get out and play and enjoy the speed and the performance of this boat, because this is what it was designed to do. You know, as he takes a little bit of a turn, you can look and see something different. Multiple steps you're going to see on these 52s, on a lot of these outer limits. Most times at least 3 or 4, in some cases 5 steps as they get bigger. But that's what makes these boats perform so well. And now catching up with this 43-foot Nordic. I know you guys were thinking that was a skater at first, but no, it's a Nordic. Came all the way from Lake Havasu City back in Arizona. Pulled all the way to join this poker run. And Mike and Travis Smith in the cockpit, they came all the way from California. So that's just a great illustration of what people will do to come all the way to South Florida to attend the Key West Poker Run, and we appreciate how far you guys have come. Reading over on their video bio, they said that they really like the cat. It's a great all-around cat. It's got fabulous performance from the Mercury Racing 1350s, but it still can be used as a lake boat back at home for family boating. Well, thanks for joining us, guys. They said also in their video bio they had so much fun that they plan to be back in 2018. So we hope to see you guys back here in Key West. And let's welcome for their very first time on the run Jeremy and Kristi Cheetah from Minnesota, Stillwater, Minnesota. And they actually trailered this 46-foot outer limits all the way from Minnesota, 1,800 miles each way with their sport chassis. So that's an amazing accomplishment. They should have won the farthest trailered award, but I think somebody actually trailered about 2,500 miles, but that is still an amazing accomplishment. It's their first time on the event with this 46. The boat was designed by racer Steve Curtis with Mike Fiore, and it was designed for great handling and top speeds of 170. Now powered with Mercury Racing 1350s, so it's obviously a great handling boat. They said that what they love about power boating is they love the sun, the warmth, fun with friends, and making new friends, and of course they love the speed. Nice shot there as they get a little hang time running off that wave. And if you get a little closer look now, you'll be able to see why they call it Team Topless, where you can see it would otherwise be a full canopy boat, but it's been opened up completely as a recreational poker run boat. And while we're out here with the Outer Limits family, catching up with Doc Jansen, who is now 2 days mourning the tragic loss of his good friend Joe Scrow. In fact, all of the participants on this run, especially the Outer Limits owners, feeling very impacted from this bad accident just 2 days earlier. But you know, that's a good place here for us to put up this tribute logo, and I'm sure that all of the OL family will appreciate this. You guys really bonded and stuck it out. Of course, Doc Jansen was there on Thursday when the accident occurred, and alongside Joe as they tried to revive him and get a pulse back. And you know, he pretty much every step of the way through that tragic incident, Doc Jansen was right there, and he was one who was keeping us informed. So Doc, thank you for being such a good friend to Joe and a good friend to all of us here with the Florida Powerboat Club. We appreciate all that you've done. And looking good here today in your 2014 Outer Limits SV53, powered by Mercury Racing 1550s. And if we can give Joe something special, this shot I think says it all. This is a great tribute, almost flying in formation with that 46 topless in the foreground, with the Cheetahs and with Doc Jansen, and I think that's Mark Tukka off in the distance with his 44, giving an appropriate send-off to Joe here in the Key West Harbor as they get out for this fun run on Saturday. And I think this shot just provides the mood and the look and truly the salute that Joe deserves here, being such a well-respected person in the performance boating and racing community. Well, they say if you're not vengeful, you're just a little vengeful, and that's what this one is. Little Vengeful is the sister ship to Johnny Ola Flint's 48-foot MTI, powered by Mercury Racing 1550s. This one, of course, the 34 MTI, powered by Mercury Racing 400R Verados. So clearly they have taken the 48 back to the dock and somehow had enough time to jump in the 34 and get her back out here. Good job, guys. You did a twofer. And back here now in Key West Harbor, where the party is starting to pick up. You can see more boats have arrived and assembled in these little rafting configurations. Looks like somebody's going for a swim there. But I think that this really is an ideal place to hang out. It's just the right amount of depth, no wind, no current, and you only have to idle back to your home port and marina at Key West Bight. So think of all the fuel you guys saved by not going out boating today. And there's that big mothership, that Nortec 56 that made his poker run debut right here in Key West. And just food for thought, we are out of the sanctuary completely. No birds, no animals, no butterflies, really no wildlife that can be affected by what we're doing right here. So I hope that going forward, we can continue with this party and be left alone to have some fun, because we're not bothering any residents either. And I think this is the ideal location, and I'm going to have a chat with the Coast Guard and find out if we can do it again, because I think we've nailed it here. We caught up with Mike Layton from Georgia, who introduced the brand new Adrenalin powerboats 47 ZRX, powered by Mercury Racing 1100s.
The ZRX 47 and 54 designs that we have under construction right now are a representation of where we've been trying to take the brand for the last few years. We feel like a lot of the other builders have left some features on the table on the big V-bottoms that we've kind of packed into our new designs. The way that we open our engine hatches, the way that we're controlling our boats digitally with proprietary electronics. I think we're one of the only V-bottom builders that does epoxy infusion. In the infusion process, you are essentially gluing everything together at one time. And that just translates to better interlaminate bonding. It translates into a lighter boat, a stronger boat. Everything we build now is 40 foot and up. So our 47 comes in an IO version, twin staggered Mercury Racing engines. The 47 also comes in a quad outboard version. So we've modified the cockpit arrangement and done some hull modifications, transit modifications to mount, 4 400R Merc Racing engines. The one thing a lot of people don't probably know about us is that we do all of our design work in-house. So from the first sketch to the final tool path that's machining the boat is done all under our roof. We are a design house for other industries. So everything that you see in front of you was machined at Adrenalin. Prototyped at Adrenalin, built at Adrenalin, designed, engineered at Adrenalin. We don't outsource any of that. We can work with our customers, and if they have an idea they want to try to integrate in the boat, we can literally show them in a matter of a couple of days their ideas in full 3D photorealistic renderings, and then we can take that, machine it, and integrate it into the boat. So as a custom builder, we can go from concept to creation very quickly.
And I know you guys want to see more high-speed thrills, and that's exactly what we're going to give you as Greg Harris and Yvonne Edelman get out in their 32 skater, heading out from the Key West Harbor into the open water, and they have got her dialed in nicely. We saw them coming down, I believe it was on the Thursday run, and I think Greg had a little bit of trouble for a split second with one of his carburetors, and we didn't manage to get any good video time, but here we are now getting some serious run time in. So we're going to let it play. Close to a minute of great coverage here of this 32 skater. Very colorful machine, built in 2009. It's called a 3212 model. Not very many of these in the club. Powered by Mercury Racing 700. So if you can think about that much power in this very lightweight 32-foot cat, this little baby's going to fly. What they said about Key West, it's like going on a vacation, but you go there by boat. And it just keeps getting better as more and more boats get out to play. And this big 50-foot outer limits is doing just that. Look at that rooster tail coming off the back of that outer limits. And that's because they got some big power. This is Steve and Ashley Rack from Connecticut. First time here in this 50-foot outer limits, powered by Mercury Racing 1350 1550s. Not sure what fuel they're running on right now, but either way, you can tell they're getting some speed and getting some nice air as they hit some of the big chop here offshore on the south side of Key West Island. They had a lot to say about the event, a lot of nice things to say. They invited their friends Pete and Josie Kulemans, and it all really came together at the 11th hour. They just bought the boat about a week before the Key West run. It was shipped down to Miami directly from the Outer Limits factory, so they really didn't have any seat time. Key West was their first opportunity to run this boat. And wow, that was the money shot for today right there. And yet another skater here, which is very well represented on this Florida Powerboat Club event. Probably close to 20 skaters altogether here on this run this weekend. This is Tony DeWall all the way from Michigan. It's a 40 skater running about twin 1,000 horsepower. Love the lines and the graphics of the boat. Real clean looking. I think he's just kind of chilling out here waiting for the chopper to catch up, and I know that Tony likes to go fast, so it's only a matter of seconds before those throttles will go down and he'll get this skater spooled up for a good run. And as I sit here in the studio, I'm looking over my notes, and I see that Skater actually had 24 registered boats on this event, and the only reason why they don't take home the Manufacturers Cup is that they are not a sponsor, never have been. So we always award the best awards to people who actually sponsor and support our events, and especially this Key West run. So, but it's still fair to tell everybody that we have strong representation from Skater on a lot of these big poker runs. And it's the new Florida Yacht Club in the harbor. That's John Rosati's 215-foot motor yacht, Double Down. And in the background, Mark Stoddard from Canada, who chartered this 154-foot Richmond called Excellence. And here, a very painful and really sad reminder of the 2 month earlier Hurricane Irma that pretty much wiped out a lot of the lower Florida Keys. All of these vessels that were in the anchorage pretty much washed up on this little island across from Key West. Very sad to see this. A lot of these people were liveaboards, and I hope they're able to clean it up, and I hope some of those people had insurance. There's a great shot of our Poker Run headquarters, the Conch Republic Seafood Company, and our Poker Run Village. That new construction in the foreground are the Old Town Villas, which took up much of the footprint, but we still have enough space to put on a great show, and nonetheless, this will continue to be our Poker Run headquarters for many years to come. Thanks to the gang at the Conch Republic Seafood Company. Saturday afternoon here at Key West Poker Run, moving now to day 4 as we get ready to set up the sponsor dock. Saturday night's a big night as we play our cards out, and we will be giving out over 20 People's Choice Awards to some very deserving teams in a variety of categories. But in the meantime, we're just enjoying the day as the Key West Suns begins to set.
The sun is now low in the sky. We've got 2 more hours of sunlight. But as all of the boats now begin to return from the raft up party, again, that was... we switched that up as well. We could not go to Woman Key with these 20-mile-per-hour winds, rough seas offshore, and a very, very choppy situation that would not have made for a good raft-up party out at Woman Key. So we compromised. We ended up here in the harbor in the anchorage. We found a great spot. We hope all you teams had a great time out there. But we're going to sit here and wait for you as you come in now and greet everybody back here on the sponsor dock. Rounding things up here from the Poker Run Village at the Conch Republic, hoping you have enjoyed this video, and as we continue on with the members of the Florida Powerboat Club for 2 more days of boating festivities here in Key West.
Well, I just hope that we delivered on our promise to give you guys more high-speed thrills today with a wide variety of high-speed offshore catamarans, V-bottoms, and center consoles. The best in the business from all of our sponsors right here from the Key West Poker Run, our 25th anniversary of this signature Florida Powerboat Club event. Thanks for watching. We still have 1 more episode to go. That's going to be coming out to you very soon here on YouTube. So we're going to wrap things up. This is Stu Jones. Thanks for watching. Remember to catch us on our website for all the information about the club at flpowerboat.com. We are on Facebook. We're also on Instagram at these channels. And remember to subscribe and get the notifications on YouTube, so every time we have a new episode, you guys get a notification and you won't miss a minute of powerboating in paradise from the members of the Florida Powerboat Club. Be safe out there. See you next time.